Alright, everybody, we're here. Sorry, but we're not live, unfortunate, but we did our best. We'll get it done next time, but we missed you so much and we're back. Yes, Crystal, tell them how much we missed them.
We missed you guys so much, and we are finally back, and it has been way too long. Too long. Definitely.
Yes, way too long, and hopefully now that we have a little bit better working of a system, that we can at least get you some sort of updates, whether it's live or not. So we're still working out the kinks of this thing, but as you can see, everything looks pretty and how everything was during our 2.0 update. But as much as we want to get back into how much we miss you and everything, we have a mission. E3 was this past week. Bombshells were taken and thrown to the ground. Gauntlets were thrown everywhere. We have got to talk about this. Crystal, what do you got for me?
Alright, let's see. E3. Everyone's always expecting big stuff coming out of E3. It's always elaborate. The stages, the people they bring in, and of course, all the hype of what's coming up for the next year in the gaming world. Now, I was keeping primary tabs on Xbox E3 because that's pretty much what I've got, and I don't have plans to get a PlayStation 4 anytime soon, but hey, you never know, crazy stuff happens in the world. So, I've got all the Xbox tabs on E3, and I've got a lot that I'm looking forward to, and a lot that I'm really excited about. So, I will start with one of the many things that I'm looking forward to, Mirror's Edge number 2. So, forever ago, they came out with Edge 1, which was awesome, obviously. And now, finally, a year and a day later, they've got the second. And it looks so spectacular. And it is just action-packed and thrilling and controversial because things are happening in the Mirror's Edge world. And it is going to be so cool. And I so can't wait. And I'm going to play it forever and ever and ever and ever.
I am a huge, if anyone who knows me, I'm a huge Mirror's Edge fan myself. I was very excited when they announced it last year. It also, to me, has the greatest pre-order bonus ever, which is if you ever see a Faith cosplayer anywhere, they all have the Mirror's Edge bag. And I still have mine to this day, even after the thing came out. So I'm excited about it. It was unlike anything I ever played. It was a very smart way of doing things, and graphics-wise, obviously coming to PS4 and Xbox One, it's going to look spectacular. So I'm definitely excited, and hopefully they'll bring back the bag. But I'm really excited to see what they come up with, and it's coming out next year, February, and I already got pre-ordered and ready to go on that. But There's an omission here. I'm surprised you went with Mirror's Edge first because your girl's coming back.
I know. I'm so excited. Lara Croft is back in action. We have the Rise of the Tomb Raider. It has been announced. It is being released this November 2015, and it is going to be so awesome. So obviously, that's probably the one that I'm going to talk about the most. That's the one that I was most excited for. I mentioned last year in our episode that I was really hoping for something to come out about there. It has been, 2 years already since the last Tomb Raider, and I almost can't wait any longer. But I'm really excited, so I wanted to take a little bit of time and mention a couple things that I was absolutely thrilled about on this. Let me consult my notebook.
You got notes.
I'm very organized, aren't I? They're sloppy, but that's okay. It's not important. Alright, that Tomb Raider gameplay for the Xbox that they released, absolutely seamless. I almost didn't even know the difference between the cutscenes and the gameplay. It was so flawless. There was barely a skipped heartbeat in between gameplay and cutscene and cutscene and gameplay. It was incredible. The graphics, of course, because of that, are incredible. And the physics of everything, they nailed it. They nailed it. Like, in that gameplay, he is trekking up that mountain with Lara, and she is literally tripping on deep snow. She trips on the snow. That is incredible. I love it. It was awesome. My mind was blown. I teared up a little bit, but that's that's beside the point. The trailers that they released definitely did their job. They got me interested. They got me excited. They were nail biters and thrilling and on the edge of your seat. They did what a trailer's supposed to do. They got me hyped. That's good. And the gameplay that was released at E3 had a feel that was a lot like Peru, the first level of the original Tomb Raider and Tomb Raider Anniversary, where she is in the snow and looking for this big stone door. And it was very nostalgic, but it wasn't so similar that it was disappointing. It was just similar enough where it was like, all right, this is where Lara Croft goes. These are the roots. This is how Lara Croft exists in the world. And that gave it a really good feeling for me, being as I've played for too long. No such thing. But it had a good way for it to feel like the original. And it wasn't too much. It wasn't overdone. It wasn't, hey, this is Peru. It was like, no, this is kind of Peru level-ish with the snow and the doing things. And I was definitely not let down by this gameplay release, and I'm so hyped for the new Tomb Raider.
Well, let me ask you this question. Obviously, there's there's exclusivity to this. Last year, we didn't realize it until way later that we thought it was coming out on all consoles, and now it's an Xbox exclusive and admittedly a timed exclusive. So my question is, will that influence you to buy Xbox One, or are you more of a waiting game to see what happens?
Well, they did announce the Xbox One now has backwards compatibility. So, that being said, I think there's a good chance that I could probably get it on Xbox 360 pretty soon. I don't think that they're going to wait out too much, because while they do have that backwards compatibility, there are other people that aren't going to have that Xbox One, and they're still going to want that money coming in for them, so there's no way they're going to wait that long. So if I have to wait until February, so be it. But there's no way they're going to wait longer than that, because it's already going to get pushed back, chances are, by development errors and glitches in whatever systems that they're throwing it out onto, which as of right now is just Xbox. But there's stuff going to happen, and they're going to realize that a lot of people are waiting on this game, and it's going to be mine. Even if I have to kill for it, it will be mine.
It will be yours. Because I believe it is coming out on 360 as well. I could be completely wrong about that. But would you are you interested in anything next gen, or if it comes out on the current systems being Xbox 360 and PS3, are you just aiming for that, or you just
So Xbox One and Oculus and Minecraft. I was a little way too excited about that. It was really, really cool. Because, he had it on the wall, and then he, put it on the table. And we were watching him through the Oculus glasses on the table, playing Minecraft. And it was so cool. And I was like, oh man, that's really cool. And, that's the future. That is a hologram. Holographic imaging. Future. We are in it. It is happening. And I'm really excited about that, and that kind of makes me want to get an Xbox One, because that's really cool, and cool shit could happen later on. But that, man. Oh, and not only was it on the table, he had it voice activated. He could talk to Minecraft, and it would do some things. And hand manipulation, he was like, hey, zoom in. Hey, zoom in. And it would just do the things. And I was like, oh man, this is everything our generation has been waiting for forever. And like, it's crazy to think that kids are just gonna grow up with this and they're just gonna be like, wait, you couldn't always do this? But dude, that's cool. That's cool. I was really excited about that. I definitely watched that whole segment like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. The whole time.
I will admit that the HoloLens and the Oculus, and they're pretty much partnering with all sorts of VR. Um, that did look cool. I really like. I want to do it for myself. Like I tried some of the like not VR but some of the motion control things on various different systems, but that right there looked awesome. But I just don't want it to be like a Kinect where you have to have like a studio apartment to get that sort of feel. That's my only trepidation for it. Um, Either way, that was cool. There was also another Xbox game that you were clamoring about that I don't have much info on myself, so fill me in.
Recore. It is called Recore. It is, as of right now, a Microsoft Xbox exclusive, I believe. I think they're going to do it on the computer also, and just the Xbox. I didn't know what I was getting myself into when I watched the trailer for this. And I watched the trailer before I watched the E3 premiere for it, and it is really cool. So the basic premise of this trailer is there's this woman and her robot dog glowing blue companion. Easiest way to put it. And they end up fighting these creatures that are glowing red. And in order to save his companion, the glowing dog runs into the middle of the battle and blows himself up so that she can get away. I cried at this point, by the way. And while he blows up, she's like, oh no. Which, obviously, who wouldn't be like, oh no? But, she picks up his little glowing blue ball, and she's looking at it, and she goes over to this other creature that doesn't have a glowing ball, red or blue, and puts the blue ball in the creature. And this big robot guy stands up, and he shakes off all the sand or snow or whatever it is, and that's her companion again. And he's got a new body. And from what I can understand, it's going through all of these trials and all of these adventures, and her companion can get upgraded and do different things because it can go into different bodies and all this other stuff, and it just looks fascinating. Like, I don't know what's going on for sure, but that thing looks cool. I want that.
Funny enough, I just played the trailer while you were talking, and you were almost spot on with it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, new technology. I can do it live, but not necessarily live. So, like I said, I do apologize. But yes, now I was watching. I did catch the tail end of Microsoft's, but Microsoft actually, for the most part, had a. They need to have this caliber of a show for a while, and for those who are Xbox gamers, this proved to be a yes, you made the right choice with a whole bunch of games coming out this year from Forza, Gears of War Remastered, Rise of Tomb Raider coming out November 10th, Halo 5 Guardians, backwards compatibility coming in the holidays. So it's a really good time to be an Xbox gamer. That's definitely what they're saying compared to the last two that they've been having.
Yeah.
But was there anything else from the Microsoft one that I forgot? That was just exclusive to them?
I don't think the Tom Clancy one is exclusive.
Tom Clancy isn't, but let's talk about that, because I just saw that trailer for the first time, and I was kind of impressed and kind of creeped out at the same time, because I just figured out something later that I'll tell you about, but let's talk about The Division.
Alright, The Division. So I've not really been too heavily into the Tom Clancy stuff. I know they've got the books, and they've got the games and all that, and I've never really noticed just how cool it is, first of all, because, like, it's really cool. But this game, specifically, was absolutely fascinating. Like, the concept of this whole destroyed world, basically, that is just falling apart, and having just a couple people or thousands of people, because they don't know. The woman in the trailer mentions that she has no idea how many of them there are, but they are going to basically try and fix everything, because why not, I guess. And the way that they went about making this trailer gives it a really stable and fascinating feel, a way that you can really, what's the word I'm looking for? Can really get on board. Even if you haven't been part of the hype before, you can definitely get on board for this game. And I'm really looking forward to that. And I think that this game might make me want to go back and look at these other Tom Clancy games and see if they're anything worthwhile, basically.
Now, I've been a fan of some of the Tom Clancy games, mostly Splinter Cell. Now, this one's really interesting because it's kind of like almost it's an open world game, team based. Um, right now, I got the trailer up, the gameplay trailer for multiplayer, and what happened is these guys were about to kill these NPCs, and this other group of people just showed up, and either they can kill everyone or join forces and kill them and hunt for things. Um, but spoiler, by the end of the trailer, this guy, they betray who they just met, and this one guy just leaves their team and betrays them and shoots them all and takes the loot. So the term division actually kind of has a double meaning you can also be divided in a way. And that right there kind of made me, whoa, that's too darn human right there. That gets too real. That got too real. So I kind of almost like, oh man, I want to have friends, but man, this is going to be weird. So I'm really curious about it. It's kind of like The Last of Us, kind of post-apocalyptic and kind of team-based. I think it's kind of an interesting premise. I'm not trying to get too deep into some Ubisoft because I was really disappointed with Watch Dogs this past year. Dear God. But yeah, that one right there just, that Ubisoft game really put a bad taste in my mouth. But The Division, yes, that looks very good. Another game that looks amazing and it's just butter for my eyes, and that is Star Wars Battlefront. Not sure if you've seen any of this, Crystal, but it looks freaking real. My God, and you're blasters, you're fighting stormtroopers, and it's first person, third person, so you can play how you want to. It's an online only game, so it's pretty much just multiplayer, but you're just in the lore that is the Star Wars. Like, you're not just like a Jedi or whatnot. You're a soldier on the ground fighting in this freaking war, and things are coming to kill you. Like, they got AT-ATs standing tall, forward at a time, coming at you. These people don't like you. The dark side does not like you, and it's all based upon like the what we call the better of the trilogies for Star Wars. So I am just looks alone, I want to buy it. So we'll see exactly how gameplay goes, because it just looks way too good to be true. But it's all playing on PS4 and Xbox, so that's definitely on my watch list. Let's see. Ba-bam. What else do I got? Now, there's a few things, but I'm going to get to another thing. Now, another similar game that was on, Recore. Actually, as soon as I saw the trailer for Recore, I realized that there's another game kind of like that coming out on PlayStation as well.
Oh man.
I know, I gotta get into a controversy later about this whole Sony versus Microsoft thing, because it got heated. But I would invite you to watch the trailer for it's Horizon Zero Dawn. And there's this woman who's like got a bow, and she's like killing robot dinosaurs. Let me repeat that. She's like killing like living robots that look like dinosaurs and cheetahs and like brontosauruses and like ravens. It just looks crazy. And she can like disable them with a bow and arrow. She's like fighting this like 20-foot tall like beast, and she's hunting them. She's literally like hunting them like you would like a living like animal. It's just so badass that I can't even describe it. It's from the same people who did Killzone, so it kind of has, they really do well with the machinery. But if you give it to have a chance, take a look at, just take a look at the trailer and you're good to go. What in the world? Your videos turn off. Beep. Hold on, technical difficulty. Almost there. Hold on, guys, we'll be right back. Hold up. Let's see if that worked. Oh, this technology. Thank goodness net neutrality is in fact, so we can actually have better upstreaming of things. We'll be back with that in just a moment. But yes, for those who are going to watch this on the replay, yes, I'm trying to make sure that we get to have a live stream next time. So there'll be a little bit of experiment there. And Crystal is back!
I don't know what happened.
Technology hates us. I mean, it's not League of Legends.
It really does.
It's not League of Legends bad, but still.
It's League of Legends. It's like the worst episode we've ever done.
Oh, dear God! Oh, God, it's the worst thing ever. Yes, it's like our 9/11. We will never forget.
Oh, man.
Well,
No Portal.
No Portal?
I've yet to receive my Portal 3.
Oh! You have yet to receive your Portal 3, but there's... Now, I'm going to talk more about this controversy later, and then I'm going to end on something that everyone knows I'm going to end on. But we're going to talk about games that shouldn't exist but do. Games that have...
Continue.
Games that shouldn't exist but do. Meaning games that we want to exist but don't, like Half-Life 3. Will that ever come out? But at the Sony conference, they have decided to use whatever, powers of, necromancy to bring back The Last Guardian. The Last Guardian is now officially a game again, and it's coming to PS4, and it still looks good. And you're still messing with this dog bird thing with its feathers. But it's actually a game. So... Huh?
Dog bird thing. That's wonderful.
It's literally it's like a dog bird cat thing. Like, check out the trailer later. It's cute and adorable, and like you pet it and whatnot, but it's like 20 feet tall, and you have to kind of guide it through this weird like temple. But still, it exists. After not existing for like 7 years, it actually exists. So, this is an E3 of resurrections, to say the least.
Yes. And on games that should not exist but do. As a game developer and a company of game development, you walk a fine line between pumping out games and getting your money and, making something that people want all the time and taking too long between those games. Like, you pump them out too fast, it gets old. really quick because there's not enough time for there to be any kind of electronic and mechanical development for it to actually change at all. They just become money makers. And one franchise that comes to mind, I'm sure you guys can all imagine, Call of Duty.
I did not even dignify that franchise with the trailer to be queued up.
I was so beyond not interested in Call of Duty this year.
Like, I have been checked out of Call of Duty since Black Ops. Because it was a pretty good story. I liked Black Ops' story. But at some point, to this day, I borrowed my friend's copy of Black Ops once. I've beaten the single player 100%, got all the achievements. To this day, he has still not beaten that game, and he owns it, I think, still. It was that one, but I beat most of the storylines. At this point in time, you might as well make it kind of make it a subscription-based shooter. Make it like, okay, hey, you pay like an MMO shooter, pretty much, where you pay this much and you get an expansion every now and then. I think people would dig that a bit more than having to shell out $60 right then and there and be like, this was crap. Rather than, oh, hey, we get to grow and get to, bask this community. Call of Duty might be in a little wane because right now, according to this E3, they are no longer exclusive to Microsoft for their map packs. They've been exclusive for years. And now they're like, oh, by the way, we're going over to Sony. So there's no loyalty there. So clearly they're going where the money's at. But
actually,
at the same... Well, sorry, just continue.
No, go ahead.
But yeah, I've switched over myself to the Battlefield side. It feels a lot fresher. It feels a lot more intense because there's 60 people on the map, and the map is the size of a small city. So there's no camping. There's no, oh man, I prestige this billion time. I mean, it's the nails that are in. To me, the nails are in the coffin. I could be wrong. It just might not be my game. It might not. It might be like Just Dance. It might not might not be for me.
And I mean, I played for a good long while Call of Duty, a couple of years at least, and I was really into it. Playing till 4 a.m. and living off of Arizona and ramen noodles because I was playing video games till 4 a.m. and waking up at 8 o'clock and doing it all over again. And I got out over it after 4 or 5 or 6 games, and it was just the same thing pretty much over and over again, and it just got boring. But then on the exact opposite hand, you have games or game developers rather, that if you're not pushing anything out and people are really looking for it and they're willing to pay good money and you're not delivering, you get frustrated gamers. And Portal 3 in my instance, or Half-Life 3, and you've got these great games that you can definitely keep working with and definitely keep building on and creating this empire, which doesn't have to go crazy like Call of Duty did, but it's been years for Half-Life and Portal, and we're still waiting, and you can only keep somebody loyal and waiting for so long before they're just like, why am I still here?
Alright, that's too good of a segue for me to ignore. Now, arguably the biggest news in gaming, not E3, in gaming. I'm jumping the gun. I wanted to say this for last, but that's way too perfect of a segue of how long can you keep people waiting? You can keep people waiting 10 years. Because that's exactly what Square Enix has done with Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Yep.
Now, this is the game that shouldn't exist. They have trolled us with this game. They have said, oh, we're going to come with Final Fantasy VII on PS4. It's a PC port. Whatever. Oh, by the way, remember that game that you guys keep asking about every single time? That every game studio, that every news outlet puts on a bingo card of things that they want to happen, which is Final Fantasy VII Remake? Guess what? We can now circle that. And I didn't, like, all, you know how last year everyone blew you up for Rise of the Tomb Raider coming out?
Oh, yes.
Everyone blew me up for Final Fantasy VII Remake. I'm like, what the hell is going on? I'm doing something. What's up? And all of a sudden I saw the trailer and I'm like, why do they have very pretty FMVs for this PC port? I know this is coming out. And they're like, remake. I'm like, what? No. No. You didn't just do this. And looking at the reaction videos are priceless. If you want to see a bunch of old men nerds cry, watch Final Fantasy VII Remake reactions, and you will see grown men cry. I cried a little bit. I teared up. I'm not even going to lie. But the news to that is that it's actually a remake. It's not a, oh, we're going to take the original and put new graphics to it. They're actually pretty much from the ground up retelling the same story. So I'm curious what they're going to keep, what they're going to modernize, per se. But hopefully they'll listen to the fans to keep some things pretty much classic, which is the materia system and the after time battle. You know, they'll probably have voice acting and full motion capture, Advent Children style, but hopefully that'll be out in 2 years, in time for the 20th anniversary. But yes, you can keep gamers waiting long enough. 10 years might be the maximum. I think they just pushed that, statute of limitations there. Which, let me talk about this controversy here for a little bit. Obviously, whenever you announce Final Fantasy VII Remake on your stage, you won E3.
Mm-hmm.
As you know, even though Microsoft had a super solid show, bringing out a few sprinkles of some IPs that are going to be interesting coming out, which they desperately need, having a good lineup for things coming out in the next few months for holiday this year, and backwards compatibility, at the end of the show, everyone was like, that's going to be hard to top. Sony's got to do something. Oh, we announced Final Fantasy VII Remake. Flip a table. Oh, were there other games announced at this show? I forgot. Didn't Half-Life 4 get announced? Psh, whatever. Final Fantasy VII Remake. Did your daughter get born yesterday? Psh, I don't care. Final Fantasy VII Remake. That's exactly what just happened.
That's awesome.
So, that's a little bit of controversy. It's Microsoft had a better show for current, but Sony really brought in with, oh, these are the games that you really want, though. You really want Last Guardian, didn't you? Yeah, you did. You really, 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 really wanted Final Fantasy VII Remake, didn't you? People would like, if you hear the reaction to Microsoft's biggest news, which is backwards compatibility, and the one for 7, it's night and day.
The roar scale is just roar.
The roar scale is like, yeah! The other one was like, I don't think all people were yelling because people were literally crying like they saw Jesus.
They did.
Like the rapture just came. So, I mean, look, spade's a spade. Microsoft, as admitted Sony fanboy, Microsoft bought a great show and they needed to. At the end of the day, it is going to be a good year for Xbox One. Probably the best year, a year that they desperately need. But as far as the future goes, Sony's got his pig in that. So, that's that one. I love why we never talk about Nintendo. Like
I just stepped out.
I love Nintendo. Super Mario Maker looks crazy. I'm pretty sure there's going to be a whole Twitch marathon when people get that game of just people making these levels so they can just go bouncing around everywhere.
Oh yeah.
They did announce Star Fox, and Zelda didn't show up, so people weren't necessarily that into the Nintendo thing. Sorry, I'm really lackadaisical about Nintendo. If any of you have ever seen any of the blogs I write, you guys know that it takes me just so much effort to try to write about Nintendo. I love them. Hyrule Warriors coming to the 3DS, I'm absolutely going to get. But thus far, Wii U, not quite on the must buy yet for me. Not quite yet. But I'm a picky person. But I'm also, speaking of rivalries, this is a whole big thing of rivalries. Lara Croft is on Xbox. My boy, Nathan Drake, is on Sony, coming in with Uncharted 4. Just so much goodness. Just so much Sully, and I can just watch these guys all day. And apparently there's like mud physics that look absolutely fantastic. But watching the trailer, just like the Tomb Raider trailer got you pumped, the Uncharted trailer got me pumped with action, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm going to be playing this thing. This is frantic. Oh my god. So I hope it's not the end of Nathan Drake, but I'm curious to see exactly where his saga will go from here. But yeah, I did pre-order a few games thanks to E3, from Uncharted to Mirror's Edge, Street Fighter 5. But thus far for the rest of the year, I'm not sure about Christmas besides Battlefield. I'm not sure if any, I know Batman's coming out this Tuesday, so that's going to be an excellent thing. But I still feel, even though with all these announcements, we're still not getting as many games as we used to coming out. I'm not sure if that's just me.
Yeah. I'm thinking there might be some kind of I mean, people say that there are only 7 stories, and after we just make variations. And I feel like it's getting to the point where variations are getting slim. And they're not really too sure where to go from here, and they're trying. But kids these days are a lot harder to impress. And I think that has a lot to do with it. Because, like, when I was a kid, it didn't take much. I was like, yes, this is awesome. And now, like, my little brother and my little sister, they're just like, really? That's it? That's what you want to do? And I'm like, dude, how are you not thrilled by this? So, I mean, kids are harder to impress. It's taken a lot more effort into each and every game just to put time in and produce something that's actually going to get any kind of screenplay time and going to actually, make it worth their time and effort to release this new game. They've got to put a lot more into each and every game to get the same amount that they were getting freaking forever ago when we were kids, and kids and kids and kids before that. And just, it's harder to impress people these days, and you got to really give them fireworks if you want to see any kind of reward out of that. And I think that has a lot to do with the slowdown that we've noticed now.
I mean, these games are looking, fantastic and beautiful, and I can, especially with the next generation. We have a slew of games in the past, the past gen, going in the Xbox One, PS4. Like, there are very few games I can really say, all right, I'm excited for. Like, I'm excited for, Final Fantasy VII Remake, which will probably be like 3 or 4 years down the road. Excited for Uncharted, which is coming out, February. Mirror's Edge. But it's kind of like after that, you kind of have to wait for June E3 to figure out what's going on, not at the end of this year, but kind of next year. And with all these HD remakes coming out, I'm pretty sure that that's where all the money is almost being spent. Is, oh hey, you have a higher fidelity system, so we're going to produce a higher fidelity game of the game that you've already bought and played and beaten, again here. So some of them I'm okay with. I like Borderlands, the pre-sequel, but at some point, with games like Recore and games like Horizon Zero Dawn, there's it's just going to be an interesting setup of things. And we're having connection issues again. Let's see about that. Let's see if we can get this going. But yes, I'm really excited about it. I'm really excited about Final Fantasy, guys. I'm just saying. And we're back.
I'm back. Are you back?
I'm here.
I don't see you.
Oh. That's because my camera's being used, I think.
Probably.
Okay, can you see me?
Yeah.
Alright, cool beans. Back to that. And back to this. And Chris is back, yay. Alright. Anything else out of E3 that's really kind of like tickled your mind? Like, oh man, I'm interested in this product right here?
Not necessarily, but it did I just had this flashback. I mean, that sounds bad. That sounds scary. But, like, alright. E3 is doing the badass Xbox stage and everything, and they're announcing the people, and then boom, spotlight. And they're announcing the people, and boom, spotlight. And they're announcing, I want to say it was Forza, probably. And this beautiful blue comes down from the sky and lands on a platform. And I was extremely frustrated that the developers did not get out of the car. Like, they were not already on that platform and sitting in the car waiting for it to descend and then just get out of the... Why not? They missed a wonderful opportunity not only to be up in the air in a freaking gorgeous car, but what a fucking entrance! That would have been so cool! And then they were just like, nope, we're just gonna stand on stage and be boring. I was just like, dudes, why?
Now, this reminds me of a few things. I remember going to a conference myself, and I remember, what was it? It was a couple of years ago where they were announcing Just Dance, and Usher was on stage. And and Usher was performing, and I'm just realizing these geeks have probably never willingly listened to Usher in their life. This is their one and only shot, the only impression of seeing Usher live. And all these people do is either write blogs, write codes, play other video games. And I'm like, why do these guys pay money to have Usher come out to these geeks? Not a demographic that he's really shooting for. He may have sold a few albums. Who knows? But his performance was okay. But I'm just sitting going like, I'm looking at the crowd. I'm like, these people have no clue what just happened. They just got like Rick-rolled.
They're probably like, who's this guy? What?
It's like, why is Usher here?
What is going on?
I mean, there's some of those moments in E3 that, are memeable, and those was one of them. And I'm just going like, why are these things happening? They haven't done it too much lately. With Forza, they always try to bring out a car because they're like, hey, we're Microsoft. We got money, remember? But
why did they get out of the car? I mean, that's just me being me, I guess, is the best way to put that. But that would have been so cool.
Look,
had I been that game developer, and they were like, all right, so this is what we're going to do, guys. We're going to have you guys on the stage, and we're going to have this beautiful blue come down from the sky, and I would have been like, I want to be in it. Like, how does somebody not jump on that opportunity? Unless they were told that they weren't allowed for safety reasons. But, dude, how are you not like, yep, that's going to be me in the car up there.
Well, at the same time, there's not a Kanye West of game developers.
I mean, if you're the two game developers announcing the game, I mean, shit, do it up. Might as well do it right.
Look, no one is coding while they're laying on their back like a performance piece. Like, I won't code while looking at you. I don't think we're to that point yet to where that swag has just kind of overcome the fact that we're all disably just awkward as crap.
Awkward nerds. One day, us awkward nerds will rule the world, though.
We are ruling the world, but we're doing it behind TV screens. Look at us. We're not wearing real pants. We're ruling this world.
I mean, I'm not wearing pants.
I mean, I'm wearing pajama pants. I mean, the truth be honest here.
I'm wearing shorts, so I guess technically that works.
Okay.
And I'm real close for this, and...
Yeah, up here, I'm professional. Down there, I'm like, I'm like, as soon as we're over, done, bed.
Business on top, party in the bottom.
That's right. That's going to be the new t-shirt. Merchandising.
It's like a mullet for your clothes. I don't know how to...
See, now, I want to Google that, and at the same time, I don't want to Google that.
I was like, so no, that could go really, really badly. Okay, we're not even talking about E3 anymore.
We're not. Now, I will plug...
everyone.
Hold on, I will plug one more game that I don't have a trailer for, but I was just really I was really surprised that was coming out. It's an indie game called Firewatch, and the premise is really simple. You are this, fire ranger in Wyoming, and pretty much it's just you and this other person on this walkie-talkie. You never really see him. That's kind of your guide around. Make it a duck face. That's all. I got you. I got you on there. But, so, I'm not sure why, but just the premise seems very, like, it could be dark. It could be something very unique. I'm really excited that's coming out. But, yeah, besides that, I am pretty much burnt out on E3. I have tried everything I can to look at. The big news with the big news. The small news was kind of really, really, really small. Like, there wasn't even too much of a... Well, Fallout is a thing. It's not my thing, but...
Yeah, that's true. I wrote it down, and I don't even think we actually mentioned it before this moment. But, yeah, hey, Fallout 4's coming out.
You got Final Fantasy, dude. But yeah, Fallout 4, I say it lackadaisical because I was a fan of Skyrim. I was not a fan of Fallout 3. Everyone wanted the Pip-Boy Collector's Edition. Now it's non-existent anymore. So, it's just, it's one of those games that are like, oh, hey, Call of Duty, Joey. I'm like, yeah, no, I'm good. But I think we're about to wrap up here. A little under an hour, but still we have some technical difficulties. But just a heads up, just to let you know what's going on in the new world here. Something that we can do is that if you tweet us at RenderRaiderR3 on Twitter, tweet us your questions, tweet us your inspirations, tweet us what we should show next, tweet us things that we may have forgotten. If it's about R3, use a hashtag R3 on E3, and we can actually share your tweets with the rest of the world when we have a show live on camera. So just let you know, some technologies happen. We're going to hopefully have more shows, not exactly on a regular basis, with 4th of July being the next Saturday that technically I can be off. But that'll be more news. Go follow us on Facebook for more of those information. But as far as E3 goes, it's in the books and things have risen from the dead. Pretty good.
I think we did all right. Welcome back to everyone that has joined us, will join us, and has been graced by our weird, because that's really the best way to put it. But anyway, that being said, I guess it's time to sign off. I'm Crystal Croft.
And I am Joey Render. Crystal, I want to let you know that I missed you so utterly much, and I'm glad that we even got to do this one complete year after the last episode that we taped.
Perfect.
Like literally, like I looked at my listings. There's a lost episode that never got done. We'll hopefully do that later on this summer and rehash that. But that was to the day, the last time that we were doing an R3. So I'm glad we got to do that. Like I said, we're so happy to be back. We're going to try to do more as much as we can. But that's it. Crystal, take us out.
That's it, guys. See you later. Keep it geeky, interwebs.
All right. Keep it geeky, guys. Peace out.